everybody, Noreen here. Thanks so much for joining me. As you can see, I've got some of the gorgeous new Christmas Past products that are new out just at the end of October 2016 from Creative Memories. And I'm planning to use these in a very frugal way this year. You see, I suffer from something called SPHD, which is really not as bad as it sounds, but I'm sure a lot of you are affected by it as well. And that's seasonal product hoarding disorder. And really what it is each and every year I love the papers that come out at Christmas time, and I buy them. I buy all the accompanying stickers and embellishments, and I make a few layouts, maybe a couple of cards, and then the rest of it gets put away, and I think to myself, I'll use it next year. But what happens? Next year comes along and a brand new crop of products comes along, and I have to buy those as well. So hence seasonal product hoarding. So this year I knew I couldn't resist these beautiful Christmas Past papers. Really lovely subtle colors, gorgeous little gemstones, some lovely stickers. I knew I couldn't resist them, so I thought to myself, okay, I've got to come up with a plan to use as much of this product as I can this year. So I've come up with a plan, and I've designed several projects so that I have minimal scraps left over, minimal stickers left over, and I'm going to get the most bang for my buck, and I won't have to store any leftovers and have adding to my hoarding disorder. All right, so if you can relate to that, I invite you to join me over the next few weeks, the end of November, last 2 weeks of November, first week of December 2016, and we're going to make lots of projects together and use up all this gorgeous product. Okay, so what we're going to be using, and you'll want to get your hands on this as soon as possible so you can get it all ready to go. We're going to use one package of the Christmas Past designer paper, and there's 24 different designs, 12 sheets, 24 different designs. Okay, we're going to use one pack of that. We're going to use one pack of the Christmas Past stickers, and there's actually 3 sheets in the sticker pack, and I love that they are packaging them in a Ziploc bag. Look, aren't those lovely? Perfect. We're going to use one pack of the Christmas Past embellishments. There's 40 die cuts and 40 of the rhinestone gems. And we'll use pretty much all of that. There might be the odd sticker left. And then we're going to use them, a good chunk of our Ruby ABC 123 stickers. Now these came out in October as part of the Painted Harvest collection, but they are a perfect match. I think you can see that there. They're a perfect match to the reds in the Christmas Past. Okay. Now what are we going to make, you're asking? Well, we are going to make several different projects. The first one is going to be a December daily album where you create an album that documents everything that happens in December, or several of the things that happen in December, which is a great way of leading up to the holidays. If you can't commit to making a whole little mini album for December daily, I have an alternate project for you. You can use the same products that you would use to make the December daily album. You can use them to make a Christmas countdown, sort of like an advent calendar, and you can tailor that to your family's needs, whatever you'd like to do. We're going to do those this week. Today, the rest of this video is going to be about the December daily album, and then in a couple of days I'll be posting the Christmas countdown video. All right, so we're going to do one of those 2 projects. Then we're going to do not one, but 2 1, 2, 3 layouts. One at the end of this week, beginning of next week, and one early in December. So one in November, one in December. And then we're going to make 12 cards. We're going to use a lot of our stickers for those cards. So you can give those to your friends and family. We'll do those near the very end of November so that they're all ready to go. And then last but not least, we're going to make some treat bag toppers so that you can give those out to your friends, to neighbors, to the teachers, to your kids' classmates, hostess gifts, anything like that. And we're going to have all of those projects done with these products, and we're going to have them all done by that first week in November or December. So you will be ready for Christmas. Okay, so let's get started with the December daily album. Okay, and for those of you who aren't familiar with the December daily album concept, you might want to go and visit AllieEdwards.com. Allie is a longtime fixture in the scrapbooking industry. She is a dedicated storyteller, and she came up with this concept of creating a small album that happens basically just in throughout the month of December each year, and she uses it as a touchstone to help her reflect on and get the most out of her holiday season. And I've been making them for several years now, and sometimes I make them in the 8x8 size, sometimes I make them in the 12x12 size, sometimes they're just extra pages that are added into my regular family scrapbook. This year I'm going to use the Ruby 8x8 inch book cloth album, and you're going to need 16 pages. So one package of pages and protectors plus 4 extra. And that'll give us 32 sides, one for title page and then 1 page for each day in the month of December. Okay, so that's the first thing you're going to need. And here's a tip for you. If you didn't buy an album cover in preparation for this project, Creative Memories makes the pages available year-round, so you can certainly order your pages and then simply create your pages, and then when the albums come available again, I think in January, you can purchase your album cover and assemble it all. Okay, so I'm going to use that. You're going to need 7 sheets of the Christmas Past paper, and this is definitely the project that uses the most paper, and you will need to use a couple of specifics. Okay, so the first page you're going to need is definitely the dates, and you can see that it goes from 1 to 25, so we're going to need a way to create a few extra dates. Okay, so you're also going to need the page that has the tags on them. We're going to choose 6 of these tags and use them for the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st of December. Okay, you're also going to want to choose one of these journal boxes for your title. It's going to go right on the front page. I'll show you the sketch for that in a few minutes. So yeah, you will have a few pieces left here. You're going to have a couple journal boxes, and it looks like about 5 tags left. Okay, that's going to be left over from that page. Then you can choose 5 other pages. Okay, and they're all double-sided, so this is going to give you 10 different patterns of paper to work with. Okay, and just as a hint, I'm going to recommend that you do not choose the full-size sheet that has the lovely deers on them, because we're going to use it for a 1, 2, 3 page. So don't choose that one. Choose anything else besides the 12 by 12 inch page with the deers on it. Okay. Then the only other thing we're going to need is we're going to need a journaling pen. And you're going to keep that handy. I've just got my black pen here, and also my gold pen, because I think that's going to be a nice way to write the additional dates on my tags. My tape runner, of course, and my 12-inch trimmer. And sorry, I had these on the ground. The other thing you may want to use is some of the embellishments, okay, and the rhinestone gems. Those are optional. If you don't want to use those for this project, you don't have to, but it's nice to have them as a little bit extra. This is my favorite. I love those 3 little Victorian-looking children, very excited to get their Christmas decorations. Okay. Now, for those of you who are familiar with my other videos, you'll see that I always give you some sketches to work from, and I've designed 2 really easy layouts that we're going to use in our album and repeat them. Okay, so we're going to use a strips layout and a squares layout. Okay, I've also got the title page here for you and the cutting guide. And as I do in all my videos where we've got some scrapbooking happening, I'm going to post the link where you can download a full set of the instructions along with all of the sketches and cutting guides that you'll need so that you can complete this project with ease at home. Okay, just download it, print it for yourself, and keep it handy. All right. So I'm going to go through the instructions. I'm not going to make the whole album in front of you here, although I will definitely give you a look, a flip through of the album when it's done. All right. So the first thing we're going to want to do is want to start cutting. This one's pretty simple. We're going to cut apart all of our squares. Okay. So you're just going to go through. It's going to take a few minutes to do all your cutting. All right, but you're just going to go through and cut all 25 of your squares, and you're going to set them aside. Okay. As I said, you'll also want to choose 6 of the tags. You're going to need 6 extra tags here. So I think, for example, I'm going to have these ones for sure that I know. Okay, so you're going to want to choose 6 extra tags, and then you're going to want to either write on the tag what each of the extra dates, 25 or 26 through 31, or you can use your number and letter stickers on them. Okay, so you could definitely do, 27. So I might just go ahead here and write 26. I'll give a little bit of an extra flourish there. Okay, so you're going to get all 25 of your numbers cut out and 6 more tags with 26 through 31. Okay, that's that. And then, as I said, we're going to want to cut out one, put my pen away, one journal box. And that is going to be for our title page. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. I kind of think it's going to be the deers, but I also really like this birch pattern paper. Okay, so you're going to want to have your journal box ready and put that aside. Okay, now let's look at how we're going to cut up the rest of the paper. We're going to cut, we've got 5 pieces. We're going to cut 2 pieces into squares. And as long as you just cut at 3, 6, and 9, 3, 6, and 9, you're going to get 3-inch squares. You're going to get 16 squares from each page for a total of 32 squares. All right, and that's going to be enough to do 16 of your album pages. Okay, so you're just going to go through, cut this page up while we're talking. Okay, and then you can even stack a couple like we do in our 1, 2, 3 layouts just to eliminate some of the cutting. Remember, because these are double-sided papers, you're going to have 10 different papers to choose from. All right, so some of these have this nice red plaid. Some of them have the poinsettia. All right. Oh, and then I would do these other ones. Quick, quick, quick. I find that when I'm prepping for an entire album, if I can cut things into standard sizes and then repeat the cuts, it makes it go a lot faster. Okay, so that took me all of what, 2 minutes? Not even. Okay, so I'm going to cut 2 pages of double-sided paper using the square guide. All right, now my other layout is a strips. So instead of cutting 3 by 3 squares, I'm actually going to cut 3 by 9, sorry, 3 by 8, I guess it is, because it's going to be the same length as the album. 3 by 8-inch strips, okay? And because I get a few less strips out of the paper, I need to cut use this layout for cutting 3 pieces of paper. And you'll notice that you're going to have 1 extra square and 1 extra strip. Okay, we do want to hang on to those as much as we're trying to eliminate scraps. We do want to use those, okay? So, get rid of my squares here. Keep them off to the side. All right, so my first thing is I want to cut 1 inch off the top of my paper. I don't know if you knew this, but if you go in from towards the right, this is a 1-inch marking here. So anytime you're cutting 1 inch, just line up your paper with the edge of your cutting 12-inch trimmer, and you've got a 1-inch strip. Okay, so we're going to save all of those strips. All right, now my next is going to be at 4 inches on a full sheet of paper, so it's actually 3. So I'll go in at 3. All right, and then I'm going to cut that strip down. You can see I've got 3 by 8, so I'm going to have a 3-inch strip remaining, a 3-inch square. Okay, so I've got my 3 by 8, and then because this is 8 inches long now, I just need to cut it into 3-inch strips. So that's the rest of my paper here. Okay, so 3, 3, and 3. All right, So I've got some strips, and I've got, this isn't quite a square, but I've got my strips ready here, and I'm going to do that on 3 sheets of paper so that I have a total of 15 strips. All right. So get all your cutting done. Again, I'm not going to cut all my paper right now in front of you here, but get all your cutting done, and then we can move on to the layouts. Okay. So let's take a quick look here. I'm going to come back to the title page in a moment. But you'll see that, again, in using up all of our scraps, we're actually going to use our 3 1-inch strips that we have cut from our paper. And we're going to use those 3 1-inch strips, cut them down to 1 by 8, and we're going to use them right on our title page. And then our journal box will go just kind of over the side. So our journal box is going to be here. And we're going to have our strips. Pretend that's an 8-inch strip there, there, and there. Okay? So it's a very straightforward title. And again, you can see right on the layout there, or the sketch that I have for you, you can write your title or description. So whatever you want to write. I'm going to probably write December Daily 2016 McAllister Family. That's typically what I kind of do for my December Daily title pages. Okay? So I'll show you how that turns out in the end. And then here are my 2 double page layouts. So for every page in here, I'm going to do either a layout with the squares or a layout with the strips. I also have to include the little numbers that we've done. Okay, remember we cut out the numbers at the very beginning. So those have to go in there too. All right. So let's take a quick look at how each of these would pan out. And I don't have all the numbers done, but I think you'll get the idea. All right, so for the first one, let's do a strips. So for each side, I'm going to have a number square, okay? And I'm going to have 1 strip on this side. And then I'm going to alternate my color, okay, or choose a different one completely, and put this other strip going this way, okay? And again, I'd have... Let's do a quick cut so that we can get the full effect. Okay, so a number square up in the corner of each page, and then a strip going each way. The reason I've designed it this way is so that a 4 by 6 photo can live very happily on top of it this way, on top of it this way, all right, and still have room for journaling. Or if that day you end up using a photo that is 4 by 6 horizontal, it works as well. Okay, so the challenge is really to pre-design some pages that work with either vertical or horizontal 4 by 6 photos. Okay, so that is what your first layout will look like. So we're going to do a strip layout, and then on the next page you're going to do a square layout. Squares are similar. The numbers go up in the corner. And yes, I realize that I cut out a 1 and a 6, but this is just to illustrate how we're going to build our pages. And then we've got 1 square up in the top, 1 square in the bottom. All right. So again, I have my squares here. You're going to have lots of different colors to choose from. Okay. And that's going to be our squares layout. And again, designed so that you can put a 4 by 6 vertical photo on top or a 4 by 6 horizontal photo. It's going to work either way, and you're still going to have room for journaling. Okay, so that's the basic idea for the whole album. You're just going to go through and you're going to pre-make each one of these pages, alternating between a strips layout and a squares layout, and just going back and forth until you fill the whole album. Then when December 1st rolls around and you start taking photos of the things that you and your family are doing, you're going to be able to very quickly and easily print the photos, glue them on the corresponding day, and do your journal. Okay? So it's going to be super fast and super easy. And this little bit of work that you're doing right now is going to pay off in spades. And again, I know some of you are probably saying, what, is she crazy doing a whole album in December, the busiest month of the year? But I think you'll really find that it helps you actually slow down, take stock of what's going on each day during that busy month, appreciate it for what it is, whether it's big messes that are happening, crazy Christmas shopping, the kitchen's a mess because you're baking everything. But those are the things that all are part of the holiday season. So instead of focusing just on one day, I hope you think about making this December daily album and focusing on the whole of December. Keeping that, in mind as you go through the month and being really present in everything that you do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, cut out the rest of my squares and strips, finish up my album, and then I'm going to give you a flip through at the end. All right. Don't forget to join me in a couple of days. I'm going to use these exact same papers and supplies to create some Christmas countdown favors. We're going to be creating some cute little favor boxes that will have treats and such in them that your family can open one per day throughout December, leading right up until Christmas. Okay? So thanks again for joining me, for sticking in there. I know this has been a longer video than I normally do, but we'll see you again in a couple of days for the next Christmas Past project. And again, I really hope you give this one a try. Thanks very much. Bye for now.